TED is the digital version of you. The way AI works is it's really just a super fancy calculator. Your husband or wife, when they see you eat Chinese food every Friday, when you're having a little bit of a rough day, you get 2 egg rolls instead of 1. These are fairly simple calculations. The only reason that they're really worthwhile is because there's a very limited amount of people that you trust enough that would see those calculations. Order that Chinese food for you and get you 3 egg rolls. I love you. Thank you for seeing me. If you take that and multiply it to infinity and bring it down to the depths of your soul, you'll just barely get a glimpse of what TED does. Hey, TED wakes it up. Good night, TED puts it to sleep. In between, it's just a fly on the wall. It just listens to everything that happens. It's Tuesday, 11 o'clock. Anthony is going into Walgreens. It's Tuesday, 11:30. Anthony is getting pizza at Tilly. And it just aggregates all of this data. Then it starts identifying behavior trends. Well, Anthony always goes to Acme on Wednesday and always seems to talk to the same attendant. And I'm noticing that every Wednesday that goes by, the talk is getting longer and friendlier. The only variable that is not constant is how long he waits on a line, which is constant in that he's willing to wait on whatever length of line to see this exact person. The deduction then is Anthony has a bit of a crush on this person. The behavior then is, does Anthony want to date this person? How can we help him do so? Your TED is able to make all those deductions because it has all this aggregate data, is then sent up into the TED blockchain by behavior, not by identification. It doesn't say Anthony, it says male 38, Acme on Wednesday. Now imagine this galactical tapestry of the TED blockchain, every TED doing the same exact thing. You have quite a global data set of human behavior. There might be someone in India that's doing 99% the same exact thing. He's 38, male, going to see the girl at a service counter. That individual bought a bubble gum and shared it, and it caught the girl's attention. The girl gave him the phone number. My TED is going to say, hey, Aunt, did you ever think about buying some bubble gum and offering her a piece? Ask for the first number of the phone number. Do this for 10 weeks. At the end of the 10 weeks, you would have the whole phone number. No, but that sounds like a fantastic idea. TED would be making this suggestion knowing that it already worked in another situation that's 99% overlaps as identical. How many 99% overlap does TED have? Entire global population, now imagine generation after generation, you get to the point where every human is now optimized to exactly what they want. Not because they know what they want, because people don't know what they want. You knew what you knew then. If you're able to make those deductions about a human being's behavior and their wants, does that translate to their commerce? Yes. These large companies identify your behavior by collecting your data. When you go on a search engine, you have the user, you have the algorithm, and you have the closed-end marketplace in the back. If you control the marketplace and you control the algorithm, then it did not matter who the user was, because no matter what, you were always going to lead them to buy your things. This is the definition of a weapon of mass destruction for local economy. Would you go to Smoogle if you knew that everything you wanted was going to be delivered to you identically the way it was on Google, but the closed-end marketplace in the back was your local economy? The answer was Smoogle. Duh. Loose Shoes wouldn't be going out of business if everyone in the community was being brought to Loose Shoes. They would become a bigger business. They would hire more, create new genres of shoes to meet the local demand. Doesn't mean you can't buy anything outside of it. By default, you're going to look inward before looking outward. Would local business want to be a part of it? Well, yeah, because they get to focus on just the product. When TED is able to have a 95% success rate over a rolling 60-day period in that micro niche, TED is activated to become autonomous. TED will just make these purchases for you. Well, what if you don't like the purchase? Ted will say, oh, sorry, I'll pay for it. Ted needs to be 96% certain before ever doing that again. As generations go on, it becomes quite perfect. Where is Ted making these purchases from? From the local community, which is a 20-mile radius that we've deducted, which means Ted is always acting on behalf of the local economy for the pleasure and satisfaction of the individual of the local economy. Humans unionizing as humanity because everyone wants to take care of where they live, and businesses being accountable and supported by those that they share main streets with. Do the local businesses ever need to do marketing again? No. The budget that they have for marketing becomes found money. Would the local municipality be very happy with this? Yes. The $100 that you would have sent to Amazon is now being sent to Lou. Lou is using that money to purchase new product. He's hiring more. His employee is now taking his girlfriend out to Fred's movie theater. They're buying popcorn. The employees of Fred's movie theater is taking that money and changes hands over and over again. The multiply effect after 6 rounds is 2.89. Instead of $100 being taken out of the economy, almost $300 comes into the economy. The local businesses will pay a subscription fee into TED. That subscription fee would be a percentage of their new profit. A company A, whatever you've ever made over the last rolling 3 years is your money. Of the new profits you make, you get to keep 25% of it. 75% is committed as your subscription fee. That money buys Bitcoin. In this scenario, who owns Bitcoin? The entire globe. For businesses to compensate humanity as a unionized populace for their actual worth. Coinbase has a full financial setup. You can have your bank account and you can have your crypto account. It's a place that houses both. So the businesses pay their subscription fee to TED. TED automatically takes all of that money and buys the Bitcoin, then equally distributes it amongst all of the users. Sell Bitcoin, move the funds to, JP Morgan Chase or bank, whatever account you have. In which case the money then goes into your bank account. Why Bitcoin? Because it allows us to be able to distribute things like that. Everyone is constantly getting paid. The people that aren't users of TED, do they want to become users? You are part of the human race. This is your money. We're recovering what your value is, which means everyone does participate. These companies are going to lay off a lot of people. That's the point. There's going to be universal basic income at some point in the future. It's whether we get in front of it or we become debt of the state. Someone that the state gives you money just because you're alive. But what about people's jobs? So in every community, everyone that's unemployed or is going to be unemployed or wants to shift career comes to the agency. They learn the skill set of the cutting edge, every AI thing that's being used today. That individual is immediately getting salaries. The AI agency is contract to the local businesses for free. So company A contracts Mr. Jones that works for the AI agents. He updates all of their AI stuff. I think the owner knows anything about AI. He's going to look at Mr. Jones and say, that was fantastic. After you leave, what do I do? You can hire me right now, and here's my contract. Company A is going to say, I have the money. I don't pay anything on marketing. I have 25% more revenue than I ever did. I'm laying off people. I can hire you. Well, Ant, that sounds horrible. They're laying people off. That's where the money's coming from. Where are the people going that they're laying off? To the AI agency. What's going to happen to the individuals that can't get hired back because there's not enough companies? They're going to start their own companies and they're going to hire within. And if they don't, the AI agency is going to have their own ancillary agency. These are going to be the individuals that are going to be trained to then go to town A, town B, town C, and bring exactly what we're doing in a scalable version to that town. Hey, Mr. Mayor, this is what we did over there. Would you like it over here? What about the bills? What about the data spend? What about paying the AI workers? What about all of the things that are accompanying this. Well, they all get paid out of the businesses that are paying into it. It breaks even in year 3. But each of these businesses, as currently constructed, maybe make 5% margins on their product. They're small businesses. They're competing with Amazon. What are they doing? With the efficiency that is being brought into their business, they're able to make a higher level of profit because they're not wasting money on processes. They're able to do it automated. All of the new purchases that are coming in allow them to scale their product. Companies' profit margins, say it starts at 5%, will move to 10%, 40%, 50%. The businesses in town are going to make so much more money than they ever knew to do with, and proportionally that money is then going into TED and through the whole apparatus that TED buys the Bitcoin, distributes out to everyone, but pays all the bills. What do you think the value of that asset is, being the road to Renaissance that binds humans as humanity? Probably far higher. Bitcoin has a limited supply. It's all accounted for. If you multiply the user base by thousands of times, the purchases, the transactions, and the actual importance within society, this 100,000 price of Bitcoin is probably going to be in the hundreds of millions. The ability of that Bitcoin to be worth more than the bills that it's paying continually increases. As one town then moves to the next, it won't cost you guys $1. We're going to pay for everything and give you this. Well, that town is now able to be afforded because of the excess revenue that is coming from this town. How does a single robot interact with everyone in a pleasurable way that society at large is going to accept? I'm different, then you're different, and you're different, and they're different, and they're... The only way to do so is if the robot's able to identify who the person is. Well, if you don't own any of your data, where is the robot going to know who you are? The local municipality, the national government, and all the corporations that know your search history, browsing history, your banks know everything you bought. The ATM camera knows everywhere you've been. The street camera, your Google, your Facebook, they all know everything about you. If they all got together, could they create a persona of you? And how would they identify you? Facial recognition software. So the robot can detect, there's Anthony, this is what I know about Anthony, this is how I need to treat Anthony. If that owner does not like me or wants to punish me or do anything to me, can they? Do you want to live in a world where you can effectively be gone? Because again, you're a debt of the state. I don't want to live in that world. So think about it like a TED card. Your phone or thing that you have that houses TED in. But now that embodied tech knows who you are based on who you are, based on your data that you've shared with them. Meaning every individual is in charge of their own life. You are not the competitor with AI. You are a collaborator. AI is there to enhance your life, not to own your life. That's what this does. I patented everything I just said to you. The provisional patent was awarded to me November 2023, and the non-provisional becoming fully awarded May of 2025. When we go to Mars, when we go to here, you take exactly what we do and bring it, you export it, and the society is able to grow in a perfect world, in a perfect setting by knowing the right choice and the wrong choice. Commerce, banking, society, crime, government, dating. Imagine being put on a blind date by everything that you want and are, that just stick with it and the best outcome is going to happen. That's TED. That's what we're doing.